What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we are taking a look at the BenQ EX3501R Ultrawide gaming monitor. So without further ado, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the unboxing experience, it was pretty simple and straightforward. It came in a pretty nice large box, and inside the box you'll find the I/O cover, the HDMI cable, Type-C cable, DisplayPort to mini DisplayPort, the power brick which runs off 20 volts 6 amps, and of course the instruction manual. And what we have here is a 35-inch 1440p 100Hz HDR 4ms FreeSync curved VA gaming panel. It's got a pretty clean design, clean edges, a nice solid heavy-duty height adjustable stand with a decent amount of adjustability, just no rotation, which is fine for this type of monitor, but it would have been nice to have a bit more height adjustability. Now a Vesa mount option is only available using an adapter, which I cannot find any stock for, but luckily there are a couple user-generated solutions online that I'll leave a link for down in the description below. And taking a look at the bottom, we got a pretty good mix of ports. We got 2 HDMIs, 1 DisplayPort, 2 USB 3.0 ports which feed off the Type-C port that also accepts video, but it does not provide any power back to your laptop. And of course, the power jack. These can be covered with the included cover, but personally I like to leave it off for easy access. Cables can be routed through the hole that is built into the back of the stand, which should help tidy things up a bit. And under the panel itself we'll find the menu buttons that are fairly easy to use, as well as the built-in auto brightness sensor, which we'll talk about in just a bit. Now since it is a gaming panel, let's go ahead and start off with gaming. Before you game with this panel, make sure you have AMA set to premium, which will help a lot by reducing ghosting, which is inevitable in current VA panel tech. And of course, make sure you are set to 100Hz. Now if your panel becomes stuttery or starts skipping frames at 100Hz, set a custom refresh rate of 99Hz to fix that. In my experience, it seems to only happen with NVIDIA GPUs, and AMD cards like the RX 570 work just fine on 100Hz. So anyways, gaming on this panel is different, it's fun and immersive all at the same time. And with the rise of more games supporting ultrawide like never before, you won't have any issues playing modern titles other than needing a beefy system to run everything smoothly and make use of that 100Hz refresh rate. And with that said, that is when FreeSync comes into play, which hopefully becomes one of the certified monitors that work on NVIDIA cards in 2019, because NVIDIA is now supporting FreeSync as well, which is pretty awesome. In my experience, FreeSync worked pretty well on my RX 570. For the first time ever, I was able to run FreeSync and the difference was noticeable and comparable to my G-Sync monitor, and it was just simply fantastic. Alongside the 100Hz and the nice deep colors, it made for a pretty awesome gaming experience on ultrawide. So how is HDR, you may be asking? Well, since it is an 8-bit VA panel, and in my testing I was getting about 275 nits of brightness, you're not going to be getting the full real HDR experience. But it does provide you with usable HDR, and it does work pretty well. Whether it's gaming or watching movies, HDR here does work in producing deep colors and greater dynamic range in scenes, and no, there are no options to tweak your HDR experience in the menus. Speaking of menus, BenQ's menu system has been very user-friendly. Everything is fairly easy to get used to, it's pretty easy to access, and I had no troubles in navigating through it. And did I mention that watching movies on this thing is pretty awesome as well? Well, depending on what you're watching, it will fill up your whole entire screen for the most part and have very little to no black bars. But of course, if you're watching some good old YouTube, then you'll have some black bars around the sides instead, but personally, that is perfectly fine with me. So to sum it all up, entertainment-wise, this thing makes for a fantastic display. As for productivity and general use, there is plenty of room to work with. It pretty much almost fully eliminates the need for a dual monitor setup. Opening any two windows side by side is a breeze, and being able to fully read and navigate both windows without having to scale anything is great. Whether it's reading or writing documents, browsing, or just watching videos, you can do it all with one panel without having to turn your neck constantly. As for editing photos or videos, color accuracy is what you're probably going to be concerned about. Although it's fairly accurate in the center using the MBOOK color profile, which is my favorite, being a VA panel is of course going to have some color shifts depending on what angle you're looking at it. This is actually my 4th VA panel that I have reviewed on this channel, and I can tell you that the curve here slightly improves and makes up for the VA viewing angles, and things overall pretty much look more unified. So with that said, yes, of course you can edit videos and photos, you'll have plenty of room to lay your footage and play around with the timeline, but again, it's not going to be 100% color accurate. Once again, this is a gaming panel, and if you plan to do any heavy color grading, then get yourself a dedicated monitor just for that. And last but not least, the brightness sensor on the bottom of the display. Enabling it in the menus allows the monitor to automatically sense, detect, and adjust the brightness accordingly, which works great at night and it is very responsive. Overall, it is a pretty fantastic feature that I would love to see on future monitors. So the conclusion, this panel has a lot going for it. From looks to performance, it pretty much covers almost everything you'd want from a 1440p ultrawide gaming monitor, while keeping the price point under $1,000. Yes, it does have some slight ghosting, but that is to be expected from pretty much every modern VA panel out there. But it is not all bad. As long as you have AMA set to premium and you are running 100Hz, you're pretty much not going to be noticing it unless you're really looking for it. It's very responsive, it's got nice deep flags with great color, and being an ultrawide, it ties everything nicely together. And with that said, guys, that is all for this video. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And thanks to BenQ for sending this out for review. Stay tuned for my 4K versus ultrawide video. And yeah, thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed this video and found it helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for content like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.